when did we learn to just get rid of individual responsibility in favor of trusting something else? Trusting someone else to take responsibility for our health, our well-being, etc. I think we've always done it to a degree, but that was when you could easily trust legacy media. You could easily trust the news and think that they were just reporting the news objectively, and for the most part they were. But now, no, you could live at the same time in the same place next door to someone else and live in two completely different realities, depending on the news media that you watch, read, or listen to. And that is crazy. That shows, more than anything, that you need to take individual responsibility of your health, your life, your wellness, your vitality, your family's health. The fact that I could live next door to you and live in a completely different reality based on the news media that I consume says that news media, the legacy news media, let's put it that way, is no longer a news media outlet of objective truth. Now, I'm not telling you which way it's going to go, because depending on the news media that you watch, leans one way or the other. But all that says to me is that places even more importance on you to take individual responsibility, not be sucked in by one particular narrative over another. Like in America, let's go for so you have, say, Fox News or OAN on the right. OAN is even further than Fox, and then you have CNN, MSNBC, etc., on the left, and they can tell the same story, but it's in a completely different ways that directly impacts your viewpoint on the whole world, on what is going on. And to me, that makes it even more important that you take individual responsibility and you look into those headlines, because don't forget, media, like every other industry, at some level is based upon how it looks in media, and therefore it needs interest, it needs to generate revenue, and therefore what generates revenue is catchy, bold headlines, even if those headlines don't actually represent the article or the research in any way, shape or form. And sometimes they actually say the opposite of what that research says. But the onus becomes on you to get to the bottom of it. And we've put our trust in a media outlet, a media news source a news source media that isn't objective anymore. And we have to realise that there are still some objective people out there who, everybody has their own bias. Of course they do. But there's a difference between screwing a narrative so it completely fits your narrative and just telling the objective truth with a slight narrative twist or a slight bias twist. But luckily there are some great journalists out there still. There are some amazing ones that are pretty much in the middle and will tell you the objective truth, tell you both sides of the story, along with their opinions. Of course, they're human beings. We all have opinions. And I don't, like, say for example, CNN's coverage on, if I'm watching CNN's coverage on one particular aspect of the elections, and then I look at Fox, or I don't, like, if you know it, if you know that CNN is going to be Orange Man bad and Fox is going to be, Fox used to be Go Trump, then you can understand it. You can take it with a pinch of salt, but it's still, the onus is on you to look at okay, is this story actually accurate, or is it a deeply warped story that misrepresents the actual objective truth? And most of the time, both of them are either right or left, and the truth is somewhere in the middle. But again, it comes back to individual responsibility, and it's the same with the virus reporting now. And I'm saying this to you like in the nicest possible way. Try not to take what is being said on some of these legacy news outlets as absolute truth. Try to actually get to the bottom of what is going on, and by reading the original research, by reading competing articles, by reading competing concepts, by reading things that go against what you believe. Because you might find that your opinion changes. You might find that my opinion has changed on things so much based on recent research that comes out or whatever, and it will continue to change as I adapt and learn more things. Like, that's just natural, unless of course you live in an echo chamber. Then you just get further and further entrenched in your own views. But one of the best things about being a human is that learning is a privilege, and we should always strive to learn and become better, become more enlightened as individuals. And again, that comes back to taking self-responsibility. So all I'm saying is there are a lot of things out there at the moment that sound really scary or sound that sound hyperbolic. Like, wow, that is huge or whatever. But does the research actually show that, or is there a case of the media is overblowing something because the media, like a lot of industries, needs viewership, needs people to click through? And the actual research is that this, and this happens. And it's okay to be critical of things. It's okay to question things. Because if the theory is good and sound, it should be able to stand up to critical questioning. And you see that a lot with one particular side at the moment. As soon as you critically question some of their theories that have come out, it falls flat on its face, and then you are accused of being certain things because you questioned it, because you wanted answers, because you wanted to take self-responsibility by looking into it, and you ask these critical questions and they can't answer it, so you get called all sorts of names. And I think as a society we need to do more self-responsibility stuff. We need to take more responsibility on ourselves to look at what is actually out there and what is just bias or warped reporting based on a specific narrative. What is the objective truth? And where possible, can we get to it? Can we find the objective truth? And what does it actually say? Now, if you find the objective truth and you stay with your original thought process, your original decision, that is absolutely 100% your choice. 100% your choice, and I respect that. Because I'm not here to change your mind on something. I am here just to say, have you looked into it? Have you looked into it and thought, I'm going to read a little bit more into that, and then you look at it and go, okay, it's not as bad. It's not as bad as they're making out, but I can see the advantages of still doing what I'm doing, and so I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Okay, absolutely brilliant. Like, I am all on board for that. That is your personal, again, that is your personal choice, your personal responsibility, and you have decided that from becoming an empowered and informed person. I 100% respect your decision to do that. All I'm asking you to do is take a little bit of time, do your research, look into things, and remember that some of the research that you do, unless you go back to the original research paper, if you're just reading articles from other people, those are probably also with a little bit of bias. So take that, try to think about that when you read these articles. We are humans, we have biases. I have biases. Biases? Is there even a word? Biases? I have bias. And of course I have bias. I am also human. But on this particular thing, I'm not trying to push one particular bias or another. I'm just saying, read the research, become informed, become empowered, and then make an informed decision from there. Take some individual responsibility for your own health, wealth, and livelihood. Have a great day, stay healthy, and become informed. Yay!